Handmade with Tara. I'm Tara, a stay-at-home mom of 3 beautiful boys and a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today I have for you the Seaside Wishes Bundle. So the Seaside Wishes Bundle looks like this. And it also comes with a embossing folder that is a hybrid embossing folder. And it also comes with the Seaside Wishes dies. And this can be found in our annual catalog. So that's this one from May 2024 to April 2025. And it can be found on page 73. Here is the bundle here that includes everything that you see here. And let's see. Okay. Now for the month of July, they're starting a new promotion with Stampin' Up where every, I want to say $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon. And then they add up, they accumulate, and then you spend your coupons the month after. So that's the promotion for July. That starts today, July 1st, 2024. And tonight I am going to show you how to use all of these things here. Plus I'm also going to show you some other things that are new in the newest catalog. So swirly embossing folder I used. I also used the Wild Fern dies. So I used one of the sentiment tags in the Wild Fern dies. So I'll just let you know I used that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is show you the measurements for everything. So if you want to write these down and do the project with me, these are the measurements here. Actually, here, let me pull this closer. So the base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then the base layer, the next layer on top of the base, is a 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 piece. Plus, on top of that layer, we did a top layer, which is 5 by 3 3/4. And then you're going to need scrap paper, white, pool party, and flirty flamingo. And I'll show you for all of those what you have to do. And then you're going to need an insert that's going to go on the inside of your card, 5 1/4 by 4. And then a scrap piece of the peach, 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to leave these over here. So if you need to refer back to them as you're making the card. So I had every intention of doing more than one card, but since this is a very intricate card using lots of dies and embossing folders, I just did one. But it's a beautiful summertime card. And I also did the inside there where I added a little sand dollar. Alright, so this is the design, which I thought was super beachy and fun. And then I'm going to show you, I used Melon Mambo. I also used Pool Party ink, and I also used the Flirty Flamingo ink. So if you want to pull those, the middle one's Pool Party. Alright, I also used a chamois, so you'll need your chamois to clean off your stamps. And I also used a wink of Stella pin and green glue adhesive and some, I guess it's twine, but I used this, which is no longer in the catalog, but I had some I wanted to use it up. And I thought it was super beachy and fun. So if you have the wavy trim, that's what it's called, the wavy trim, if you have some. If not, you can use linen twine or linen thread or anything really that you want. And I am going to jump right in. So today I had a very exciting day. My son broke his ankle and I spent most of my day in the hospital. So this is Coastal Cabana is the color, and again this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then right inside this piece we're going to put our insert, which is this white 5 1/4 by 4 piece. And I just use a bit of green glue. Yeah, so my middle son, Wyatt, I've already been to the hospital with this child twice now. He's the one that keeps me on my toes, and it was just a accident. He was playing, what did he say? Ultimate floor is lava with Big Bro. And it just happened. So luckily he wasn't in a lot of pain. It's a very small little fracture, but it's the first one we've experienced so far. And it's just a little one, so I'm not that worried about it. I'm very happy. It could have been so much worse, so I am just grateful that he's okay and we're okay. Alright, so for the base layer I used Melon Mambo. So the base layer is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So that's going to go on top of that Coastal Cabana. And then the next one I used is this new color that we have called Basic Beige. Basic Beige, I thought it looked kind of like sand. And so I wanted to use this as my sand on top of here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the embossing folder so swirly. I don't know, I thought it was fun. I thought I'd give it a try. And I ended up liking the way that it looked. Kind of like what the sand looks like after water has been over top of it. So, alright, so I'm just going to run this through like this, through the embossing machine. Okay, and then it's going to come out, and I'm going to attach it to this Melon Mambo piece. And I actually have one ready to go. So that is that So Swirly attached to the Melon Mambo. So that is going to be the next piece that I attach here. Okay, just a bit of green glue. It comes out pretty fast, so I just do it really kind of thin layer, and then I just eyeball this until it looks how I want it to look. Just like that. With a little bit of that Coastal Cabana all the way on the edges here. Okay, so far so good. Insert, base layer, top layer. And the top layer we embossed. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you this embossing folder here is the Seaside Wishes Hybrid Embossing Folder. So for this next step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a bit of scrap peach. And the scrap peach, we're going to put it in the embossing folder, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So the piece needs to be a nice size. I can actually tell you exactly what size this is. This is 5 by 3 3/4. So 5 by 3 3/4. And then the way that the hybrid embossing machine, so that I can not only emboss these beautiful sand dollars, but I'm also going to cut them out at the same time. So I'm going to grab my die with the sand dollars, this one here, and I'm going to put this one on the bottom. I guess it's the bottom. The top says Stampin' Up. I actually think this might be the top, now that I'm thinking of it, the one that says Stampin' Up. So, but I'm gonna, it was easier for me to do it this way. So I kind of move this around until it kind of connects into place. And then I'm going to add this piece. So I don't need all 3 sand dollars. I only used the large and the smallest one on this project. So I just want to make sure they're completely covered with this paper. That's 5 1/4 by 4. I actually wrote it down there. This is peach. And I'm going to emboss that together like this. Then we end up with a piece that looks like this, which is kind of fun. It has like little pieces on it. You can use it for something else if you like. But I have the large sand dollar. I have a 1/2 one here, which you can use this 1/2 one if you want to. I can show you. Or you can just use the small one, which is the one that I used for this project. But also, I guess if you are doing some layering, and you wanted to layer these, you could easily cover that up to use it on a different project, right? But look how gorgeous these little sand dollars are. Beautiful. Okay, so that is how you use the hybrid embossing folder. All right, so now we can set those aside, set this aside. Okay, and we're going to attach our sand dollars. I just do a little bit of glue, and I attached it right here at the bottom. And then I attach the small one inside the card. And I attach this one right here in the bottom. Just like that. Alright, so those two pieces, the first pieces are attached and ready to go. The next piece that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of pool paper scrap, and this is a large piece. It's a 3 by 6 piece. So here, I'll even write it down. 3 by 6 inches pool party scrap. And then I also have a Flirty Flamingo scrap that's smaller. That's 2 1/2 by 3. 2.5 by 3 inches flirty flamingo. Alright, and then for these pieces, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use here. So I'm done with this one, but I did try to use all of these. So I used the large little sea sponge, sea cucumber, whatever this is. And I used a small one. I also did a starfish on here. And I did these little squigglies on this pool party piece. And this is the only die I did not use this one for this project, but you can if you want. And then I used this and made a little sea star. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those up. Using my embossing machine. Okay, so now I have a couple of fun little die cuts here, and I can put all these back over here the best that I can. Okay, so once my dies are back in here, then I can, so for these little sea spongy looking things, I just kind of rotate them and in my fingers and knock out some of the inner pieces like this. Sometimes they get stuck, and that's a really good tool to use, is this take your pick tool, you know, and push those little pieces out. Just like that. And, alright, so that's what it looks like. And then the same with this piece. So we're just going to kind of push these pieces out. You can kind of play with it a little bit until you can get some of those pieces out. You don't have to get all of them out, but most of them, I think it looks better with most of them out, but that's my preference. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I do try to post at least one tutorial a month. As a mom of 3 small children, that's about all I can handle at the moment. But I really enjoy giving people ideas for different card ideas and different kind of projects, and I would love to have you subscribe and be notified when I put out new videos. All right. So after we get all those tiny little pieces out, I know I'll be finding these all over my office for a month, but that's okay. That was fun. Toss those. And then what I'm going to do is, remember I told you we needed some ink. So I'm going to grab my Flirty Flamingo ink from here. And then I'm going to grab, from the stamp case, I'm going to grab the little star. The little starfish. And we're going to put that on a block. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our little starfish. All right. And then you're going to clean that off with your chamois. And it's going to look something like that. Okay. So that's done. And then same idea with the pool party. We're going to grab that and we're going to do the larger starfish. So it's the same color on the same paper. And that's how you remember. And I'm grabbing a C block. It looks like that's too small. I'm going to use my D block, which is why I already had it out. All right, D block, pool party. And we're going to tap that. And we're going to hit that right on this starfish, just like that. And then we're going to clean that with the chamois, close this. So something very simple, but I think it's kind of fun and adds it so it looks more like a starfish. And why not, right? All right, so after I get those things cleaned off, here, let me find my chamois here. Chamois, whoop. Gonna clean that off. And we're gonna clean that off, and we're gonna clean as we go so that we don't forget. And we're gonna, next we're going to go ahead and attach the sea sponge, and I just used the glue, definitely my preferred adhesive for these little tiny intricate designs. You can even use the thin this glue, the fine tip glue, whatever it's called. You can use this one too if you want, the fine tip glue pen, but I think it's fine with the green glue. So it's just your personal preference, and I just kind of start in the middle and work my way out. And obviously you don't have to take this much time to do anything. Okay, so for attaching it, so I kind of am like, I look at the sea cucumber, but I'm like, I don't want to cover it up. So I kind of come to the edge and I attach it right on the edge. Like that. So you can see the sea cucumber plus the little sea sponge. Then I add the blue or the pool party. That's my next thing that I'm gonna add. Again, starting in the middle and like working my way around, and then I just kind of come to where the two pieces meet, and I'm adding on that pool party and holding that down for a second. Right. And then I'm going to add these stars, but I'm going to go ahead and use the Wink of Stella, which is just going to add a bit of glitter sparkle to my starfish. Because I love these starfish. I think that they're beautiful. And I think it's just fun. All right. So now we can add on our starfish. So big blue, gonna add a little bit of glue. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to the top right here. So we're just kind of going all the way around this little sea cucumber. And then I'm going to add my little star at the bottom here. Okay, so these two little pieces, there's one that's kind of more straight and then there's one that's kind of more loopy. The one that's longer, I used that one on the front. And I kind of just tuck it in here, underneath here, and have it coming out to the side, like this. Hold that down a little bit, and then this piece, I put this one on the inside. So, like this. So just kind of add a little something to the inside here. And you can also stamp the inside if you want to. I just chose to leave it blank because I'm not sure who I'm gonna use it for yet, but the final thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a sentiment tag. So that's what the scrap white piece is for. So this is just a scrap piece of white paper, and I'm gonna get my sentiment tag on this side here. And that, remember, I'm going to use the wild fern dies. So wild fern dies, and there are 3 sentiment tags, and I used the middle sentiment tag. And so I'm just gonna run this through the embossing machine like this. Okay, so you just want to make sure it's big enough for the tag that you're using, and then, so that was perfect for what I needed. And then there's my little sentiment tag that I'm going to use. And these wild fern dies can go back away. All right, and then I'm going to use, in the Seaside Wishes, I used Your Friendship is the Best Gift, is the sentiment that I chose to use. And I used the Melon Mambo ink, which I can't remember if I told you to pull earlier. I think I did. So, Melon Mambo. And Your Friendship is the Best Gift. And we're just going to line this up, stamp this down. Perfect. Clean off my stamp here on my chamois. Alrighty. And I used a couple of dimensionals on this piece here, like this. And we're just going to attach this to this top right corner here. And then that last little bit is I'm going to use this wavy trim, which I thought was super beachy and fun. And I'm going to use my snips, and I kind of cut it right here at the end of that tag with my snips. And then I used glue dots in order, so here are my glue dots. These are the mini glue dots. And I use these glue dots and I just attach the wavy trim on here a couple of different times in the middle and on the edge. And I've learned that these glue dots are perfect for this wavy trim. Okay. Just like that. And we're just going to attach this on right to the bottom of this sentiment tag. And I just kind of leave it like fuzzy and fun. So beautiful. Just like that. So you can also add in some embellishments if you wanted to. I chose not to on this project because I felt like I already had a lot going on, but I think that maybe if you wanted to add a couple of, I don't even know which embellishments would look the best, but just about any embellishment would be fun on this very cute little summery beachy card. And I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, if you enjoyed yourself and you made this project, please tag me if you made it, and I would love to see what you did with it if you were able to complete it. And also, if you wanted to do more of these, wanted to, get added to my email list for classes, I would be happy to add you to my email list. Just send me an email, just follow to my website here, and you can connect with me this way. You can also join my team this way. I'm always happy to have new team members, people to share our love of crafting together and do other fun things together. And I hope you have enjoyed yourself and you have a wonderful, wonderful month. July 4th, everything. Hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for watching.